Hi, I'm Donald McIntyre, Operations Manager at Emerald. This is the Emerald Blockchain course, Class 1, about public key cryptography. Public key cryptography history. At the end of the 1970s, public key cryptography was invented, and it was a key invention in cryptology in general, because before, when people needed to share messages over computers or the internet that were already invented at the time, personal computers were growing. It was a growing industry at the end of the 70s and the beginning of the 80s. Everybody needed to know the same key to decrypt messages, to encrypt and decrypt messages. And it was very cumbersome. But the invention was basically that everybody could have a public key and a secret private key. So from the secret private key, which is a very large number, which functions like a password, you pass it through a mathematical function and it creates the public key. So the public key and the private key are associated by this mathematical function. And the other feature was that to create the public key, it's very easy. Any computer of any size can do this process and create a public key very easily in milliseconds. But if an attacker or a criminal or anybody else wanted to guess the private key by knowing the public key, it's practically impossible to go in reverse. Even if you had all the computers of the world, it would take thousands of years to guess the private key. So this combination of a secret number and a public number became critical and very useful for what is the internet today, to move information in encrypted format, and everybody has their own secret number and everybody has their public key, and the sender encrypts the message with the public key of the receiver, and the receiver uses their private key to decrypt it. So there's no need anymore of sharing the same key for everybody worldwide. And this is very important in the blockchain industry, because the secret key or the private key and the public key are your address on the blockchain. This is also why the private key is like a password to control your address on the blockchain. So the security of the private key is extremely important. On blockchains, everybody has their own, anybody that has assets inside a blockchain has a private key to control their public address. And the public address is where all your crypto assets are located. So if you have NFTs or Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic, or stable coins, any kind of crypto asset, they're all associated to your public key or your address on the blockchain. Finally, there's different formats. As you can see in Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, basically they use the raw address or the raw public key as your account on the blockchain. They just add a 0 and an X at the beginning, which is an industry standard. But in other blockchains, the format may change. For example, this same account on Bitcoin may look like this. This is because Satoshi Nakamoto decided to change the format to a format that was more intuitive and readable by humans. So address formats in different blockchains may be different, like in Litecoin, Monero. Sometimes they have different ways of showing your public key or your address on the blockchain. So this was the blockchain course about Class 1, Public Key Cryptography, and thank you very much for watching.